Coach, we just had a great conversation about your coaching world and how you build your program and practices. That was awesome. I can't wait to come watch you practice and watch your team work. I want to jump into recruiting. I live in Colorado. You've got a couple of guys that I've talked to that are now Cohawks, which I'm thrilled about. And the guy that I coached against, and Mr. Beeson, and I love that you recruit all over the country and you're bringing in really great kids from everywhere. What is your overall mentality on building your roster in terms of geography and culture and building that melting pot of athletes? Where does that start for you?
I think always you have to work around what your school is good at. It'd be foolish for me to try to recruit like we are a different school. We need to recruit to co.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they need to be able to fit at co college as a student. If they can't fit as that, but they fit in our basketball program, there's going to be a disconnect. And for geography, we always have to win Iowa. I think that I love our Colorado, our Arizona guys. They do a great job for us. The second you can't win your backyard, you can't win the local states, and you become a 18 plus state roster, I just think you're going to have issues with crowds, family support, being too separated. And as much as we love our guys from out west, how can we not be? Everyone here local thinks Co is a dump or Co is no good to go to. If you have to go really far to only get certain kids, there's also a fundamental issue with what's going on with you.
Yeah.
We need to win our backyard. We need to be able to get Iowa kids here at Co. We've done a good job with that. And then Midwest as a whole. And then as far as geography, I like to accent it with kids from out west so that fit really well with our school. We have a resource with the airport and just being right here in the city where a kid from Denver or Phoenix is not going to be quite the culture shock that some schools in our league might be. And there's nothing against those, but we do have a mall. We do have movie theaters. We have chain restaurants. There's no traffic. There's no mega city thing, but it's also not quite shocking to the experience. And so that's why I think we can get big and small school kids and they can both really enjoy their experience here. Being for recruiting is always seeing them in person. That doesn't mean to say that we can't ever have a kid we didn't see in person. It's not a black and white situation. It's grayer. But if I can see a kid in person, that means huge. It's a huge thing for us because the biggest thing I want to see when I'm recruiting, and usually you have a decent idea when you go into a tournament. But you'll find some diamonds in the rough. You'll find guys you hadn't seen because you always keep that open eye. But a lot of times you come in with a list. Okay, some positional guy. Here's their GPA. Here's their interest level. Okay, I got a good feel. Especially when I've seen this kind of kid recommended. I've seen his film, high school film or whatever, and I'm going out to a tournament, and I sit down in the front row and I'm watching. If he's disrespecting to his coach, if he's disrespectful to his teammates, if he's a crybaby at every call, if he can't figure it out there, I think highly about programming myself a lot of times, but I don't think I could fundamentally change humans in that sense. Where, for instance, especially let's say the kid is well off town, but if the kid comes on a visit and he's a little disrespectful to his mom, he's not great body language with her, he complaining to her. If you're confident enough to not be super respectful to your parent in front of me, probably going to be really disrespectful to me when your parent's not around. Like I said, it's not black and white. It's a gray situation where things can always change in any circumstances. But for me, I don't want to have to coach a bunch of guys and play hard. That'd be about it. Really, not total hit decide it. But if I spend most of my time in practice or a game talking about response and body language, at energy loss this year, I thought we'd had bad body language at times. And I think that's a direct correlation to how you play. I think it's foolish to try to separate the human emotion from the sport when they're so intertwined. And so as far as the basketball stuff, I'm always looking at things we can't teach. Your foot speed, your size and your measurements, your physicality. Can you walk into gum at the same time? Like things like that. Those things are really important to me because those are your base. And I believe in our weight program. I believe in our skill development. But like, for instance, my sister's 5'0". I love her to death, but I probably could not make her into a varsity basketball player for us, no matter how much I try. That's probably the least fair part of recruiting is because you're making evaluations and my job and my livelihood is tied to this job. And we have to bring in varsity players to help us win. Like as much as I love academics and that's a huge part of it, we still need to win ball games for our program to be successful. So we have to have talented players. And there's guys that have great mindset, great work ethic, great everything, but sometimes their bodies will not allow them to perform at the level they would like to. And there's guys that are super talented, but their mindset won't allow them to perform at the talent you want them to as well. So it's always a push-pull. I think with the body language and with your physical attributes, I don't get too spooked by the funky shooting motions if you're comfortable with it. And I think you can fix those things and put time into it and help them with that. Yeah. You can, if you run a 7-second 40, it's going to be tough for us to help you really improve that in the big time play. And there's always some guys in different high school situations where that coach is big time in the strength and big time in the development, or maybe some guys that don't have that experience as well. So you can see that kind of what is there, and then also ultimately, what is their potential to grow? Because you're not taking them as 17-year-olds. What are they going to look like in 2 to 3 years when you need them to play for you? Or do you think that they're going to grow into their body? Do you think they're maybe a little gangly right now? And hey, this needs a little time to mature. And that's why we're fortunate at Cole right now. We have a really strong program where we have a lot of upward classes in there. All 5 of our starters have played JV at some point.
That's awesome. What a great recruiting tool that is. That's fantastic.
And I'll tell you what, and any recruiter listen to this, I don't promise playing time to anybody because I think it's a false notion. It's a way to set yourself to fail with the recruit at a personal level. If I really like you, Matt, and think you can help us play, I think you're a stud. And they say, I tell you, hey, I think you're going to get you 10 minutes a game next year. And then you play 4 minutes a game. We already had a break of trust. Yep. I already lied to you. And even in the flip side, you play more than that. I lied to you too. We don't recruit players to be JV guys. We recruit guys to be varsity guys, but we understand that to be a championship level team, you're probably not going to get that done with 5 freshmen.
Yeah.
It's just too much for them to learn, too much for them to handle. They need to be able to be mixed into the flow with older guys that can help them develop. And then when it's their time to shine, Cooper Naylor, he's an all-conference guard for you. He had 38 points last night. He didn't play a second in varsity than after Christmas' freshman year. And you could tell he came in, wasn't in great shape. He didn't have a good understanding of the offense at first, but all of a sudden he's playing 30 minutes a game at JV, playing scout, getting all these reps, getting comfortable. This varsity guy can't guard me now all of a sudden. I get in the flow of things and then gets an opportunity, kills it, gets himself into rotation. He's a 3-year start. And I just think that, especially in the modern landscape of basketball where development is, Division I coaches will say they develop, but I don't blame them either. If you could bring in 4 22-year-olds that are ready to go right away, they'll say not to do that.
Yeah.
Like it's also broken to say they shouldn't do that. If the rules allow that, then they're going to do that. Yep. We don't live in that world. I think it helps our level because we can focus on high school guys that a higher level might say, he's going to take too long. He's going to take too long. We don't want to waste time. Or we might bring him in, but the next year, a 22-year-old comes and runs on top of you. Well, for us, we can really sell that because we are trying to develop you and we know you're not ready and we want you to be ready and put that time with you.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to say he's 6'9", or man, he is faster than any kid I've seen this year. He's can't shoot it worth a lick, but man, is he fast. There's certain things that at the D3 level, you have to swallow a little bit and say, I can't find that in its perfect form, but I'll take a guy that maybe I can help him get there. I love that. Let's flip the coin here. Why should a recruit consider Cole? Why should they look at Cole really hard playing at that school?
I think there's 3 big things we talk about in recruiting the program. One, I've been brought to chart. In my time here, you've been 100% job of secondary school placement. When I think Cole does an elite job of placing people in jobs. Yeah. I like to consider myself a Renaissance man. I love the liberal arts experience. I love learning different things, having interest in things outside of basketball. I think it's huge for young athletes. Something that I had to work on myself, finding more interest, that you're wide, you have a diverse thought process. But at the end of the day, your college experience is to prime you to get a job. And I think that within our program, with our internship opportunities at Co and our academic strength, that our guys get jobs because they're put in place to do that. And I think that being on a college basketball team or any college athletic team, I think team sport maybe a little more, is that you have to be able to work together. You have to be accepted. I was top dog in my high school. Now I'm bottom of the totem pole. I'm the youngest guy now. Can you work through those things? Can you ask questions? Can you put your head down and work and rise your way up through those ranks? I think those are super applicable to your jobs and your career going forward. And also making sacrifices. Even though the Division III athletic experience is a little looser in some ways, there's going to be times where the Friday night, all your buddies are going out to the bar and having a good time and you're of age and you can do it, but you have a game that next day. And you need to get down. I have a 6 a.m. practice that next day. I need to go to bed at 9 p.m. tonight. Yeah. I think those habits that I always say college basketball is super fun, but it's not always fun. Yeah. There's a lot of moments where it's not fun. I think that's where you learn the most from it, is where it's not fun. Then you can go, oh man, I know if coach is mad at me today. I know his practice is going to stay. I know we're going to get up and down. I know we're going to get chewed on. But can you respond to that? Can you get through that? And then still be successful? Because that'd be the biggest thing for me is academics at Co are so strong. And then the culture of our team is really strong, secondly. I think our guys are super welcoming, and I think that ultimately you make your best friends in life a lot of times with your college teammates because it's different than high school where you grow up together. You probably maybe you're playing on the same block for 8 years. What's different? But then when you're in college, you're all adults. You're all on your own. There's no oversight for you really anymore. As much as we say we oversee them, we're not. They have their freedom and they can make their choices. And I think that experience going with these guys that are all in the same spot as you. You're all broke. You're all just hungry. You're grinding. You're playing. You're getting your academics done. I think that experience, such close friendships compared to other things. And that's I think our team does a great job out there. I mean, they all live together in some way or form in dorms, houses, whatever. Every single player on our team lives with another player.
Yeah.
I think that's just a huge testament to that. And then third, I think we play a fun style of basketball. I will say I have extremely high expectations. I maybe have a screw loose, but I think I have not met a coach that's good that does not have a screw loose in them.
That's for sure.
And I think right now we're a super youthful program. I'm 29. My sister's my age. We're a young program. I think that gives us a lot of understanding. I like rap music still. We play music at practice. So we'll just time to put the music off and get into the defense. We do that. And consider myself a pretty normal guy off the court where you can talk to and understand with. Obviously, it's a relationship that's different on the court and we have an expectation, but they play a fun style. And I think out the guys who have a lot of choices. Well, coach, if you have the tools to do it, I'm going to let you do it. And we're going to try to build around what we're strong at, not the other way around.
Yeah. And I'll add to that, that there's 40 years of us former Cohawk players that we still love we still love each other. It's still a brotherhood to us. We still root for you guys. We're still a phone call away for every kid that comes there that wants some help, wants some advice, wants some direction. So it's a great place to have your 4 years of college. So that's awesome. Talk to me a little bit about what families and recruits misunderstand about D3.
I think that it's a anything can join type deal that, that,
That's always a funny one to me.
yeah, Illinois didn't recruit me, so this school will take me and I'll be really good there. I think it's the level of commitment and the skill and physicality. I always tell, this is beating the drum, but I always tell kids, go watch a game before you think you can play somewhere.
Yep.
Watch it and you go, oh, we got to busy and mean and play really hard and are coached hard and have high expectations for them. And all of a sudden you look out there and there's not one freshman out there playing and having that. And I think it's a great style of ball. I think you watch our warm-ups. It's like an NBA dunk contest. You watch our games, our battles. The coaches we play against are really good. It's their job to win just as much as mine is. There's a lot of desperation out there to win and perform at a high level. And I think that made the biggest understanding is the grind of it all, that it's a lot more than high school. And it's a lot, and it's hard to start over in the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, it is. Coach, loving the conversation. I want to use you as the master teacher you are and give some advice. What advice would you give to a 15 to 18-year-old that really wants to play in college, wants to be a college basketball player? How do they go about it if they want to play for somebody like you? What direction would you give them in terms of not only their ability, but also how to communicate that I want to be seen, coach. I want to be evaluated by you.
The big thing is that you for all its problems is a really good tool. And finding the right fit of an AAU team. Don't go to the guy selling you golden dream and everything like that. Like where are they going? For instance, for an Iowa kid, if you're not a Division I prospect and all of a sudden you're in Atlanta, you're in Houston, you're in South Carolina, you're in Pennsylvania, and that you're never in the Midwest for a tournament, no D3 NEI coach is going to be out in the East Coast or out in the South the entire summer recruiting you.
Yeah.
And so that's a big thing to look at is where are you playing at? I go to Kansas City a lot, Des Moines a lot, Chicago a lot.
Yep.
I'm able to see Colorado, Arizona kids there too. For instance, and also building relationships, going to elite camps. If there's an elite camp open, go to it. There's no better way to be seen as going to elite camp because I do think emailing is effective. I think DMing is effective. I think following on Twitter is effective, but can you put yourself on that campus as a sophomore or a junior and be seen and go, okay, I'll put them on the big board and we'll keep tabs on them. And he had 18 points a game his junior year. I'm going to go check him out in AAU now. He played really well there. I'm liking that. And I think also understanding what you want out of your academic experience too as well. And I think kids sometimes go wrong with when I do 18 visits. I think you should take visits. I'm not saying that. Well, are you a kid that's just farming that graphic on Twitter that you can post and feel good about it? And you get 18 of them.
Do you like that?
I don't mind the graphic part. I think you can farm them too much. You can collect them like Pokemon cards.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. If I want, I'm not putting every girl I date on. I'm not taking a picture of her, putting her on Twitter and say I dated this girl, and then I'm going to get another date.
You know, the flip side would be I think you can chum the water a little bit. And I do think there is some of that where, oh, the Duke recruited that kid. We probably should get on him now. Maybe there's some benefits in that sense, but I do
Is
get
that
turned off.
not?
I don't. I get turned off when the kid has 30 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because are you really putting time and effort into 30 schools? That's a lot.
Well, I'm not sure what they're trying to tell me as a coach. Are you trying to tell me you're really good and all these other coaches think so too? Is that your mindset? Or are you telling me you had a great visit, you loved it there, you're giving them praise and thanking them, and that's where you're probably going to go.
Yeah.
And now I'm going, I guess you're going there. So to me, I don't understand how I'm supposed to think as a college recruiter. You post 8 schools you went and visited to in your uniform. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the kind of the ugly part is you want to make sure they have a great visit, make them feel what they want, especially when you want them.
Yeah.
But you got to play that game and you got to make sure.
That's different between you and the recruit. Yeah. I go post this so they could get another visit. Now that relationship they just built with you, I feel like is tarnished a little bit.
I don't know. I'm pretty new.
I'm old, John. My points.
Like I said, there's a certain volume where it hit where I'm like, what's going on at this point? That's a lot. I don't think I've ever talked to 15 different organizations, period, about anything. Well, if you like us, Wartburg and Dubuque, I get that. Like, we're all pretty similar. And the big thing is, as much as I love Co, I think a lot of the schools in our league have a lot of similar strengths.
Yeah.
And so to me, it is when you're deciding between 2 schools that are pretty similar academically, where do you think A, you need jobs out of this school?
Yeah.
B, do you think that this program fits your style of play and what you want to experience out of it? Because I don't want to, I think Co's the best. I work here. I think they're the best, but they're similar. There's a lot of great schools out there and do a lot of good things. And that's foolish to not think that. And so for us, recruiting kids, we want to be able to establish a relationship. But my big thing is I don't want to super bug you either, because I think coaches can go astray when they text a kid 7 days a week. Because we don't text our players 7 days a week. I see them all the time, but I don't text them at 8 p.m. How was your day at school today? I'll see you at practice. How you doing? Like, we want to make sure you're wanted and feel like you're connected, but also not overload you and feel like, what kind of relationship is this? I feel like I'm just getting info from the salesman every single day. Yeah. So, to balance that.
I love that. But the other side of it is every time a kid comes to visit, and the NCAA doesn't allow this, but even if it did, would you post that kid's picture on your Twitter account just because they came and visited?
Probably not.
Okay. Tell me this. Imagine I'm a 17-year-old. I'm going into mid through my junior year. I'm going to be a senior this summer. How do I know you like me? How do you know you're serious how do I know Coach Payan is interested in me? How would I know that?
My big thing is phone calls. I like a phone call. Try to get them on the phone quickly. And that'd be a big thing. And then depending on how that went, like how much are we communicating now? Am I just completely ghosted you now, or you ghosted me now? Or we are, and to me, the comedian needs to be a normal like a normal pattern of communication. You know, like it's kind of like you said, the girlfriends. If you like a girl, you don't text her 45 times a day and just blow her phone up nonstop. You got to have a little feel to you, a little swag to it. And
Listen, texting when I was that age.
I don't know. But the big thing is that we want you on a visit.
Yeah.
And to go along with the offers, we really don't do the offers unless you come.
Yeah.
Because I could hand out 100 offers probably through my emails today on the phone. And are you taking the time to actually talk to our academics, maybe meet with the professor, see the academic side? If we're trying to show you all those things and then hammer a bunch of basketball on you, we're probably really interested in you. And then eventually, am I going to your AAU tournaments? Am I going to evaluate you in person? Maybe I'm done evaluating you, but now I'm just getting a face-to-face opportunity to talk with you about just chat. And so that'd be the big things is invites and conversations and stuff like that. And that'd be the biggest thing I was saying to be interest level, is that we are also being very proactive on our end as well with you.
Yeah. Investment goes 2 ways. If you're getting phone calls from us, we're offering a visit to you. We're reaching out to you and keeping you updated on our season, but you're not giving us any feedback? We got probably another 50 kids we're going to look at, and we can move on.
That's the name. We're looking for 6 to 8 kids that help us a year. There's 100,000 players, though. Count as a bit to play that college basketball.
Absolutely.
So it's not quite like football where you can bring in bigger numbers of quarterbacks and receivers. And I'm not saying everything, but it's a bigger pool. It's different. And we have a much smaller pool of needs we have every year.
Yeah.
So we got to be very deliberate and got to think that, to me, any recruiter that I can't see them fitting in as a normal student at Co, it's probably not going to work. What if they tear ACL? I don't want that to happen, but what happens then? Well, you're just that miserable now.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure they're the right fit academically and financially too at our level. I'll never lie to a kid about price or anything, and I always hammer them to make sure that they understand what scholarships are being offered to them, that his family think it's comfortable, is it worth the investment ultimately?
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, you could lose a kid over that, but I wouldn't want him anyway because it wouldn't be a right fit for him.
That's right. One quick piece of advice to parents who's got a kid that is trying to get recruited. What would you tell them?
Save money on trainer, make them play open gym, play for a smart AU team. Don't spend $100,000 on your kid's development and AU tickets and flights, and put yourself in a financial position that maybe the Division III could have been available, but now you spent $10,000 in the last 4 months on wild recruiting services. And also, the big thing is, if you want a recruiting service, there's nothing wrong with them. But I think those are more national based for Division III.
Yeah.
If you are a Cedar Rapids kid and you say, I want to play in Iowa, I want to play in Iowa or Illinois, then you probably don't need to spend a dime on anything.
10 emails, 10 phone calls.
Yeah, Colorado kid or Arizona kid, I don't want to play in the Midwest. I want to open up. That's a different story. And make sure you're going with the right guys. You're doing your research on those guys. And a lot of them do really good stuff. But in anything, like any business, there's guys that are going to sell you snake oil too. And, or say I have a relationship with college coaches when they really don't, or anything like that. So just make sure you have the right feel. I think the biggest thing is finding where you think you want to fit at. Are you a local guy? Are you a national guy? And don't kid yourself. Don't just say, I'll go anywhere. Have a little idea. I mean, it can change. It can morph. But overall, like if you're a local Iowa kid and you want to go to an Iowa D3, NEI, JUCO, they're all here.
Yeah.
They're close to you. They're drivable. Go to games. Immerse yourself. Learn about it. Be realistic with your skill set and your potential. And try to find the right fit and ultimately have a big picture view of what the degree looks like when you graduate, whether you scored 2 points or 2,000.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a really good book I heard, John, that walks families through all this if they want to go check it out. It's called Significant Recruiting. Last piece of advice to high school coaches that want to build a relationship with you, want to learn from you, want to be able to have a pipeline to send kids to you. What would you advise them to do?
I say
Coaches too.
Yeah, I would say big things. If you're local, make sure you go to games. It's so funny that high school coach, is it okay if we bring our whole team? Yes. Bring along. You can come to every game for free.
Yeah.
I'll let you in.
Yeah.
I'm pass list. I'll put you on the pass list. I'd never say no to that. And I love when coaches ask those kind of questions. When it's different for us, we're never going to go, we're bringing our whole team down to Cedar Rapids Prairie High School. That's just not realistic with all the different guys you have. And it's not really much of a point, but I would say bring your teams, reach out to these coaches. I would assume B1 will let you in for free a lot of times too, or try to help you out with tickets and stuff like that. I think just being proactive with that. And I always try to work on that too. I can always do a better job with that, but hey, Mount Mercy and Co have elite camps the next 2 weeks. You guys should probably check them out and stuff like that and help them out. And I'll be honest with you, an email from a college coach comes across the slog of emails I get a lot quicker than random players too.
Yeah.
And they spend a lot of time with them. And for instance, we had a great kid visit from Colorado Springs, and his coach just emailed me, cold emailed me. I got on the phone with them. That kid visited 2 weeks later. And so
Love that.
it's a little proactivity, and especially if you want to help your guys out. And we like winning program players too. If you're a winning program coach, I lived across and it says 3 state titles and 8 state appearances, and hey, I think this could be really good for you. You probably know what you're talking about.
Probably.
Definitely things like that.
Good comes from good, oftentimes. Yeah. Coach, thank you for doing this. Thanks for your time. I know you're in the middle of your season, so it means a ton to me that you'd sacrifice an hour and 15 minutes to spend with us and share your knowledge and your experience with our families and our listeners. So keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm in your corner, and anything I can do to help you, you've got me 24/7.
I appreciate you having me on, Coach.
My pleasure, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you.